In this video, I'm just going to be going through numbers 31, 33, and 35 on worksheet 7. If you're confused on other problems, go back and look at part 1 of this video. So in number 31, we have -1 plus 1/4 tangent of theta equals -5/4. The first thing I would do is draw a box around your function and try to isolate it. So think of this as like a variable, like an x that you're trying to solve for. So to undo everything that we've done, we're going to add 1 to both sides first. So we get 1/4 tangent of theta equals -1/4. And then we divide both sides by 1/4. So we end up with something actually simpler. So we end up with tangent of theta equals -1. And by now you might remember this happens with our reference angle of 45 degrees. But we need to figure out where tangent is negative. So all students take calculus. Tangent's negative here and here. So if we use 45 degrees as our reference angle, 45 degrees away from here, 45 degrees away from here, our two angles, theta, are 135 degrees and 315 degrees. So it looks a little bit more intimidating than you're used to, but just draw a box around it and try to isolate. It's going to be the same kind of thing for the next two problems. So number 33, to get cosine alone, I'm going to draw a box around it. I'm going to subtract 3 first. So I get 2 cosine of theta equals -2. And then I divide both sides by 2. So I get cosine of theta equals -1. And if you remember, when we get something like this, it's one of the quadrantals. Cosine is the x value. So if we think about our function cosine, if we think about where x is -1, that happens right here, only happens one time, and that value is 180 degrees. And the last request I had was for number 35. So now you might kind of get the same deal from what's been going on before. So what we are going to do first is isolate tangent of theta. We're going to add 4 to both sides. When we do that, we get -1/4 tangent of theta equals -1/4. Now we divide both sides by -1/4. And we end up with tangent of theta equals 1. So that happens, remember our reference angle is 45 degrees. And where is tangent positive? If we have all students take calculus, tangent's positive here and here. So we know it's 45 degrees, and whatever it ends up with 180 plus 45, so our angles end up being 45 degrees, and 180 plus 45 is 225. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you would like me to go over any other problems. I'm happy to do so.